Tonight on Sports Extra, high school football action in the region in North Dakota and Minnesota. The Redhawks look to win Game 2 against Kansas City and advance to the next round. We catch up with our college football programs, and we have the nominees for the Chris Heisey Play of the Week. KVRR Sports Extra starts right now. Good evening and welcome to KVRR Sports Extra. I'm Aaron Walling, and that's Ryan Bolin. A big night across the region with high school and college football rolling, but also playoff baseball.
Yeah, that is right. We're actually watching it right now. Extra innings for the Redhawks. We'll get to those highlights a little bit later. But we'll start the show on the gridiron, all right? So we got a lot of high school football to get into. And in Division A, North Dakota, you got Horace and you got Kindred. They're both teams that have moved up.
Yeah, Kindred is in Division 2A now, and Horace in 3A. Both teams won their opening games of the season, but only one leaves the field tonight, 2-0. Kindred wiped the floor with Devil's Lake last week, while Horace took care of business up north in Grand Forks. Let's see who comes out on top. Kick to Sawyer Hess, who's going to head to the left, gets the block, and look at the senior. He's got one man to beat, and you can't catch him. Hess opens this game on an 89-yard kickoff return touchdown. And after a stop on defense, they are in business to score again as they are up 6-0. Brock Johnson goes into the end zone, and the Vikings lead 13-0. The Hawks looking for a response. Toss to Aiden Green, says, "Get off me," and there he goes. 56 yards to the house. Horace on the board, but the Kindred Vikings escape with the dub, winning 34-32. Now over to West Fargo. The Packers are coming off an overtime loss in Week 1, looking to bounce back with a matchup against the Bismarck Legacy Sabres. Packers lead 21-7 in the second quarter. Legacy with 4 minutes left in the half. Brody Weigel with the perfect read on the defender, and he goes left and picks up a first down for the Sabres. Now, same drive, Sabres 3 yards from the end zone. Legacy goes with the tush push, and Weigel gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Missed extra point, though, makes it 21-13 to West Fargo. Packers with 3 seconds left, 15 yards from the goal line. Ryan Camarillo fires it. Picked off by Bennett Lawn, and he's got blockers. He's trying to go the distance, but Camarillo stops the potential game time pick 6, but they can't keep their lead as they lose 28-27. Now some other scores in 3A. Fargo Davies, the new number 1 ranked team in 3A on the road, taking on Century. They make it 2-0 for the last season's runner-up as they go 34-3 the final. Also out west, Shanley ranked 4th in 3A, looking for a 2-0 start to the season, taking on Mandan. Shanley wins it 27-9.
The Class 2A, Fargo South battling the top-ranked team, Minot North. This one being played at Fargo North High School. It's Minot with a 6-0 lead midway through the second quarter, but here comes South. They call this play Chuck It because Drew Kestel is down there somewhere. My favorite saying is the tight end is always open, and it reigns true here. Austin Morris, the Kestel, 68 yards for the score, and it's 7-6 South after the point after. But Minot North with a response from 2 yards out. Evan Berg punches it in, and Minot North gets a 2-point conversion to follow to lead 14-7 at the break, and the top-seeded Sentinels move to 2-0 on the year with the 28-7 win. Some other scores in Division 2A. Central, ranked 4th, improves to 2-0 with the win 39-7 over Jamestown. And Red River, ranked 5th in 2A. They fell Week 1 to 3A Horace. They get back on track with a 14-13 win over Bismarck St. Mary's.
Devil's Lake is back down in the area, looking for their first win of the year, taking on the Central Cass Squirrels, who are now on the 2A level. Central Cass in the red zone. Kenny Nidvicki gets the handoff, pile up at the goal line, but he gets in as Central Cass takes a 7-0 lead in the first. After a stop on defense, Squirrels back on offense. Brody Keegley to Jackson Haug, who just broke some ankles. Haug down the sideline. What a move by the sophomore. Later in the drive, Central Cass facing a 4th down. Keegley fires it but can't connect it as Devil's Lake takes over. Firebirds facing 4th down in the red zone. Mason Palmer is sacked by Ben Nelson and Hunter Rohrer, but the Firebirds get the last laugh, winning 28-21. And some other Division A scores. Number 1 ranked Langdon Area Munich, eyeing a 3-0 start to the year. They take down 5th ranked Harvey Wells County 36-8, and Hillsborough Central Valley Looking to stay unbeaten. At last check, they trailed Oaks 26-21 late in the fourth.
And in 9-man, Lemoore, Litchfield Marion ranked second. They improved to 2-0 with a 64-6 win over Wyoming Lidgerwood. A couple of blowouts here. Top-ranked New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock stays unbeaten with the 66-6 win over Larimore.
Yeah, well, some great battles in North Dakota. Now let's head across to the Red River to Minnesota, where we are on a milestone watch for Hawley.
Yeah, that's right. Hawley head coach Peter Natz is just 4 wins away from 200 career wins. Tonight, his Nuggets host Warroad. There he is, Natz, looking to get within 3 wins of 200 in this one. After a pick 6 gave Warroad an early 7-0 lead, though, Hawley responds. Charlie Steer finds a crease, and he is off to the races. 1 man to beat, and he scores 49 yards to get within 1 after a failed 2-point try. But Warroad, just 2 wins a season ago and 0-1 this year, hanging around. Brady Fast finds Ryan Charmernick, and watch him go 60 yards on the play to get the ball in the red zone. Connor Lund would later punch it in from a yard out. And the Warriors defense coming to play as well. It's Lund here deflecting the pass of Hawley's Brody Hadley, and coming down with it is Matthew Nordine. And it's the Warriors spoiling Hawley's home opener with the 17-16 win.
Now the future Barnesville football stars get to run on the field before the Trojans take on the Pelican Rapids Vikings. Trojans off to a fast start. Jacob Strand gets the snap and a little shovel pass to Cameron Halverson, and he cannot be brought down and evades all defenders as he blazes into the end zone. 2-point conversion also puts Barnesville up 8-0. Trojans now kicking off after the score, and the Vikings can't come up with it cleanly, and Barnesville recovers and would score another touchdown as a result of that play. Now the Vikings look to fight back. It's 4th down, and they're going for it. Bricker Halgrid goes right up the gut and pushes his way in, put Pelican Rapids on the board. But the Trojans are holding on. At last check, they lead 38-28 late in the fourth.
In Glendon tonight, the DGF Rebel student section ready to watch their squad try to start a perfect 2-0 in 2025. It's the offense making noise first. Quarterback keeper here from Brady Wadena, and he finds his way in for the score and a 7-zip lead after the PAT. Then it was the Rebels defense, and these highlights are just a Wadena highlight reel so far. The pick from the quarterback, defensive back, and the return deep into enemy territory. Now let's get someone else some love, though. From 8 yards out, it's going to be Jacob Lupke scoring, and DGF is rolling, and they rolled all the way to the finish line, picking up the 42-7 win over Park Rapids area. Some other scores from across Minnesota. Moorhead, a 4-hour road trip to Woodbury tonight in its second ever Class 6A game. They moved to 2-0 on the year with the 34-27 win. In Class 4A, Fergus Falls in Detroit Lakes tonight. The Otters win it 28-14 to improve to 2-0 on the year. More scores for you. East Grand Forks hosting Perham. The Yellow Jackets win it 14-7, and Mahnomen Waubun, a Class A team, improves to 2-0 with a blowout win over a Class 2A team, Crookston, 49-2.
And in 9 players, Stephen Argyle Central suffers their first loss of the year with a 2-point defeat to Kitson Country Central, and defending champion Fertile Beltrami drops to 0-2 on the year with a 28-26 loss in overtime versus Goodridge. Now to the baseball diamond. The Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks continue their playoff run tonight in Kansas City, Kansas.
That's right. FM won Game 1 Wednesday night in this best-of-3 series. A win tonight advances the Redhawks to the next round. The Redhawks trailed 2-0 in the 6th inning, but that was before Jose Sermo changed that. The Serminator with a 2-run shot to straightaway center to tie this game at 2. And the Redhawks defense coming to play as well in this one. Still knotted at 2 runners on for the Monarchs, but it's Dylan Thomas here in the 6th inning tracking the ball down to eliminate the threat. We'll go to the 8th. The Redhawks continue to show why their staff had the best ERA in the American Association. Colton Davis with the K to retire the side. And that last look for us, it is in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Redhawks and Monarchs in extras. Again, if the Redhawks win, they move on. If they lose, there will be a Game 3 Saturday night.
Well, just 20 miles away at Kauffman Stadium, the Twins and Royals played Game 1 of their 3-game series. Pablo Lopez made his first start since June 3rd. He pitched well, allowing just 2 runs in 6 innings, but he picks up the loss as the Twins fall 2-1. They have now lost 5 in a row, and Twins and Royals play again Saturday at 6:15 p.m. After the break, we check in with NDSU and UND football ahead of Week 2 college football. The North Dakota State Bison are coming off a dominant road win over the Citadel and now take their talents to Nashville to face the Tennessee State Tigers. It was the first game with Cole Payton as the starting quarterback, with also new defensive pieces taking over and finding the identity of the 2025 roster.
When we're on to Nashville, Tennessee State, in college football, when 83 guys leave a program, I'm not going to come up here and pretend to have a whole bunch of information on these guys for you, okay? But the tape we're watching, says that this program is an improving outfit. We're watching a lot of DC Defenders tape, and we have 1 game of film, but really, really well thought out conceptually. They're repeatable concepts so their players can improve. I think they have a tailback that can beat you. He had 2 touchdowns over 50 yards last week. They've got some formidable guys.
Game 1 went as well as it could for the Bison on the road. They erupted for 38 points against the Citadel while generating 519 yards of offense. Part of the equation was Barika Penu, the senior running back that had 79 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. The rushing attack is dangerous for North Dakota State, with the likes of Penu, Cole Payton, and DJ Scott gashing the defense.
It brings kind of different diversity to our offense that not one person can run the ball. We got multiple guys and run the ball, and I think we all do a good job of realizing that we all want each other to win. So that's the best part about it.
And it was a shutout for the Code Green defense. They held the Citadel to only 126 yards of offense and getting a takeaway in the second half. One of the players that stood out for the Bison was Ray James Jr., who is a redshirt freshman. NDSU will stay on the road to take on Tennessee State. Here's James Jr. on what the defense is looking to improve on in Game 2.
Last week was more of a run-heavy team, and this week they're kind of more pass. So just working on our fundamentals of our ball-out breaks and things like that really important this week.
After a thrilling loss to an FBS opponent, the North Dakota Fighting Hawks are back in town to take on Portland State for their home opener. UND is now the 20th ranked team in the Stats Perform poll, and there's a lot of buzz surrounding the team after a close loss to Kansas State. At one point, they were down 10 points in the fourth quarter, but they didn't even blink, taking a lead at one point. Here's head coach Eric Schmidt on what he saw from his roster in Manhattan.
There was a lot of confidence in hey, we had a couple bad series here. We're not playing very well. Like I said, it took one stop, and then we got momentum, back to our offense, and then our offense started rolling there, again in the fourth quarter. So, it was great to see. It's something we preach here all the time, but to be able to see the guys really live it, in a tough situation was exactly what we were hoping that we would see on Saturday.
The offense produced down in Manhattan, got multiple scoring drives, and almost beat the Wildcats in an upset bid. Jared Kaminsky had a great showing in his first game as the starting quarterback for the Fighting Hawks. He went 23 of 38 from the field for 231 yards and accounted for 3 touchdowns. One of those tutties went to Corey Ty, who shares what he saw from the offense on Saturday.
I feel like we handled it really well, We didn't really look at their ranking or who we were playing too much. We just focused out there. We were just going out there and just focusing on what we had to do, just with a winning mindset, just not really worried about who we have to play. Defensively,
it was a mixed bag for the Fighting Hawks. They gave up 38 points against the Wildcats, but also had moments where they made huge plays and kept UND in the game. It was the first game under head coach Eric Schmidt and his 4-2-5 defensive scheme. Here's what Jai Martin thinks North Dakota needs to work on this week before Portland State.
I would say communication. We need to do a little bit better of it, but I say all of us being on the same page, that was really well. We were all on the same page. We were all good. We were getting 3 and outs. We were getting out the field. We were playing with confidence. We were playing together. We was playing good. So that was the best thing, I think, for the defense.
After the break, more college football talk as our Division II teams take the field Saturday. Welcome back to the show. After a win in Week 1, the MSUM Dragons are on the road again this week when they take on Southwest Minnesota State. Now, leading the way is senior quarterback Jack Strand. Strand helped the Dragons in their come-from-behind win over Northern Michigan. Moorhead was down 21-0 at one point in the second quarter, but roared back to win 44-37, and Strand is now 49 passing yards away from 10,000 for his career. MSUM is also searching for their first 2-0 start since 2015. Here's the senior quarterback on what MSUM needs to do on the road against SMSU.
Big thing in this game is just going to be getting going right away. And, this past week against Northern Michigan, it took us a little while. We got down 21-0 before we, started making plays on offense and defense. And so I think with a lot of these games, it's important to just get up right away and score on the first drive or have a good possession. Defense goes out, gets a stop. And, once we kind of do that, we kind of feel like we can get some momentum going. So it's going to be important in all these games going forward, just make sure that we're starting fast.
The Dragons look for their first 2-0 start since 2015 when they take on the Mustangs in the Ag Bowl tomorrow at 5 p.m. Sticking with the NSIC football, the Jamestown Jimmies start their season tomorrow on the road in Sioux Falls. Jamestown will be taking on Augustana at the Kirkby Stadium down south at 1 p.m. Here's head coach Brian Mistro on the Jimmies' first game on the D2 level.
It doesn't matter who the opponent is, and I think that that's just a theme throughout my tenure here, the coaches that I've had in my life. Like, it's about us. Like, let's lock in on the things that we need to do well. Let's make sure that we're disciplined in the things that we have to do, even when we don't want to do them. And let's be all in on each other. And let's make sure that we're pouring ourselves into our teammates so that we can trust each other on the field.
And at the Division III level, the Concordia-Commers are having their first night game of the season, first time ever as well, taking on Mayville State of the NIAA. And they will be doing that at the Jake Christensen Stadium as they host the Comets at 7 p.m. Here's both head coaches about the upcoming matchup.
The triple's not easy to defend. You got to be extremely disciplined, that is for sure. And then offensively against their D's really unique. They do a lot of different things. We just got to keep heads on a swivel and do the things that we're capable of doing and distribute the football to playmakers, and hopefully good things can happen. And then always early in the year, really in every game, but special teams is a huge part.
They'll have a really good plan for us. They know how to defend it. So we also are aware of that. But our first big numbers there came because we did a nice job getting the ball at perimeter, getting into our fast kids, but we're going to have to be significantly better in offense to be able to move it at all this week.
And while some of our local college teams prepare to begin the season this weekend, so will the Minnesota Vikings.
That's right. Vikings open the season Monday night in Chicago, taking on the Bears. Vikings are coming off a 14-3 record a season ago, and now the era is set to begin for J.J. McCarthy leading the charge. The biggest storylines heading into the game is, of course, the debut of J.J., but also the return of Detroit Lakes native Adam Thielen. And with that, a reunion with the other J.J., Justin Jefferson.
It's been awesome. It's been cool to see his maturity. I was with him as a young player, and he was a very mature guy at that point in his career. But just to see him helping out other guys, we kind of laughed about it. But he's been helping me out with the plays, which is just funny because it was obviously opposite early in his career.
Prime time for the Vikes to start the season Monday night, 7:15 p.m. After the break, we reveal our nominees for the Chris Heisey Play of the Week.
Welcome back. It is now time for the best part of the show. Let's take a look at this week's Chris Heisey Play of the Week nominees.
4 plays to choose from this week. Let's take a look.
Yeah, down south in Horace, Sawyer Hess takes the opening kick, goes right, gets a great block, and he is gone. Breakaway speed. You can't catch him. 89 yards to the end zone to deliver an opening statement against Horace. Here it is again. Now, while the blocking is great, Hess's speed is just too much down the sideline. No one can stop him on his way to the touchdown, which helped Kindred upset the Hawks.
Play 2, we're in Holly as the War Road Warriors pick up a big win over the Nuggets. And how about this play by the defense? Connor Lund deflection turning into a Matthew Nordine interception. Let's see it one more time. Lund showing off the vert here. And then Nordine with the great play to come down with it. Heck of a play by the Warriors.
Play 3, back to Horace. This time the Hawks get on the board. Aiden Green hits the hole, stiff arms, and he is off to the races. A 56-yard touchdown. Let's see that again. Now, a simple toss to Green by Matthew Dick. Great blocking to give him room, and his speed and strength just takes care of the rest. Gets the stiff arm, and you can't catch him. What a play for the junior as he goes 56 yards to the house.
Play 4, Fargo South versus Minot North. It's the old-fashioned, my tall receivers down there somewhere. Chuck it to him. Austin Morris with the dart to Drew Kessel. 68 yards for the score. One more time for you. Morris trusting his receiver, and just check it out. Mr. Number 5, you got mossed. Heck of a play there by the Bruins.
But who should win, that is for you to decide at home. You can vote on our X and Instagram pages at KVR Sports and on the KVR Facebook page, and we will reveal the winner on Monday night.
Aaron, we got to get an update on the Red Hawks.
Yes. Right now, bottom of the 11th, or top of the 11th, base runners on set. Oh, well, actually, the end of the frame, they just got
We'll go to
out.
the next extra inning.
Yep. We'll catch you up on social media.